This is how we started Jack's Factor Tree notebook. We took a composition book and we divided each page into 2 sections so that every page we can fit 2 numbers on. We started off with the number 1, and since 1 is not a prime number, it's an identity, we wrote the word identity below it. And we'll learn that many things equal 1. For instance, 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So that when we divide 60 minutes by 1 hour, we get simply the number 1. 12 inches equals 1 foot, and when we divide those, we simply get 1. Or 1 times 1 is 1. Or 3 plus 1 over 4. There's many ways to write something that actually equals 1. So next, we wrote the next number is 2, and we write it in big print. And 2 is only divisible by 1 and 2, and so that makes it prime. And Jack likes to write some of his multiples of primes. So he wrote 10 over 5, that equals 2, 20 over 10 equals 2, and 30 over 15 equals 2. And then up in the corner of this box, he wrote the factor pairs for this number. And there's only one pair of factors for this because it's prime, and that's 1 times 2. So then our next number is a 3. 3 is also prime because it's only divisible by 3 and 1. And so he wrote his multiples in fraction form so that 24 over 8 equals 3. And then he writes his factor pair at the top, 1 times 3. Now, 4 is not prime. It's divisible not only by 4 and 1, but also by 2 and 2. So since it's an even number, we draw a branch under the 4, and we write a 2, because we know it has to be divisible by 2. And so 2 times what is 4? It's a 2. And since this 2 and this 2 are both prime numbers, we're finished with this factor tree. And so I list the factors in a horizontal line, and then if there's more than one of each, we write it in its exponent form, 2 to the 2 power. And then I also write the factor pairs up here, 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. 5 is also prime, and 6 is 3 times 2. And so let's move on to a little bit harder number. Let's look at 8.